All right, it is 6 o'clock on June 2nd, 2026. Everybody call the regular meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission of Montgomery, Texas to order. First thing we'll do is the pledge of allegiance. American flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance
To thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Let's see, move on to item number 3. Is there any citizen comments or anyone that needs to speak before any items start? Okay. We move to agenda item number 4, consideration of possible action on the Planning and Zoning Commission's meeting minutes of May 5th, 2026.
I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from last week.
A motion?
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of approval of the minutes from May 5th, 2026, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Item 4 passes. Item number 5, presentation and discussion on the proposed new single-family dwelling at 1005 College Street in the Historical Preservation District.
Good evening, Chairman and Commission members. Again, this is in reference to 1005 College Street. If you recall last month, the presenters were unable to attend at that time, but Mrs. Natalie McCullough is here to present to you. I do have a couple of sheets to pass out to you. It's an addition to what was submitted. It's a landscaping plan that might help in some of your being able to see how this would meet the historic preservation guidelines. And if you'd like Mrs. McCullough to come up here, or if you need another brief description of what the project is, it's a new single-family dwelling. Do you all recall the location of this house? It's at
Yes,
the
that's right.
of college.
Adjoining to, yeah,
Last house on the left.
yes, yeah.
Oh, last lot.
I'm looking through all the design colors you're opposing, whenever those guidelines seem to be in order with the historical requirements. Reading through here, did I see there may be a variance request on the setback from the street?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yeah, we were hoping to request a variance. We were gonna submit it in July with our building permit, but we wanted to get your feedback on it first. I don't know, there's a couple reasons for that. I don't know if you want me to go into detail.
Yeah, yes, please.
Well, one of them is there's an Osage orange tree that has like an estate canopy. It's very large. So we're hoping to preserve that in the next stage of development when we build the garage. It would be too close without the variance. And we just
The garage or the house?
the garage,
Okay.
not the house, yeah. And that would be, we would do that garage at a later time, maybe possibly like next year. So I'm planning ahead, we want to preserve that because I just know those are native Texas and we just happen to like it. So, and then the other reason is because my husband and I prefer, like when the house is like a little more like town, we're kind of a little bit closer. It would put us at 35 feet from College Street. So, you know, it wouldn't be, I know like the Grace Point home, the historical home, that's like 25 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So we wouldn't be that close, kind of like, because College Street was a little different than, you know, some of the houses further back, so it put us in that sweet spot of like a little closer, but not too far away. So.
What type of driveway are you planning on using? Wasn't it concrete and then you got the red brick lining on it?
Yes, ma'am. Concrete, and then we wanted to do the brick paving apron, and then brick back by the garage. That's not on there. We have a professional site plan being made that will turn with the building permit, but and then a herringbone brick walkway as well.
Where is the tree located?
It's 156 feet back from the street, so it'd be like right behind the yes, yeah. So the purple garage, it would be right behind that. Yeah, probably I don't know, maybe like 12 feet from that. It's with the variance. It's just with the canopy and everything, and just and the concrete in the back.
You make it sound like you're interested in keeping the trees and the topography and
Yes.
the reforestation that we have going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
Probably
whole.
the only people on the street we have.
Do it now.
I like people to keep the trees.
Yes, yeah. That's our whole vibe we're trying to go for is old Texas homestead, not like modern farmhouse. We want to leave the vacant trees, the big ones. If we cut down anything, it would be those invasive, those Chinese trees, I don't know what they're called, but under 3 inches, we don't need to leave all the big trees.
Do you ever plan on putting a fence?
Not at this time, only if we get a pool in the future, then we fence, but it wouldn't be visible from the street. But yeah, at that time we would, whatever.
The only question I had when I seen it was the Romeo and Juliet type of
Yeah.
balcony. I mean, it's cute, but I was wondering if it goes in line with the historical theme that goes through Montgomery. It's cute, and I know that in downtown we have those metal on in there. Or
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I was just wondering where you got that idea from.
So, that is a good question. So my designer, he's from Georgia, and he works off of historic districts down there, and so he drew that inspiration of like historic districts from Charleston and stuff like that, and Savannah. I think we wanted a balcony, but there wasn't really anywhere it would fit. And then he had sent me some images like from around the historic districts down there. So it's not quite Texas historic, but more like old South historic, I guess.
on the other side of the house?
That's a good question. No, it's because, okay, so, I know a question that Mr. Graham had last time was drainage. So 3/4 of the lot is gonna be left for like pervious coverage, like, the total impervious coverage, like post-construction would be like less than 15% or maybe maximum 25% when we're done. So, but it's all gonna be on that northwest corner, because that's the highest part of the lot. We're trying to maintain the natural like drainage patterns, so that's the low side. Like, we don't want to build anything on that, so we're trying to like minimize site disruption and let all the water just flow where it already flows.
No, that makes sense.
Go like down that side. And plus we like that, like the top school, it's already there. We don't want to bring in a lot of that fill. We have to fill, like bring in a lot of fill built on the right side, like, or I guess facing not built on the left side, the east side.
Billy, do you have anything to say about the setback? Pros or cons?
Not at this time. We haven't had a chance to review the formal site plan. You still have a formal site plan on.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, yeah. But I just kind of made this one canvas so y'all will be able to see that it's not, I mean, it's a little bit to scale, but it's not quite perfect.
I think the design, what we have is well within, historical district. And I know Miriam's happy you're going to try to save that tree.
Yeah.
I think that you got a point there. They'll just have to look at the variance on coming off the street. So, that goes.
If it helps, we're behind the 16-foot easement, the utility easement, it won't encroach on that.
Won't encroach on that.
No, yeah.
Okay.
And we could, I mean, there's other things we could try to shorten the garage too. I don't know, there's a couple of things, I guess.
Do we want to table it until we get a final one, or no?
Oh, I'm sorry. And then the landscape plan, I would like to let you all know, this is more closer to the shutter color. We changed it, but I'll need to order the samples that have them in stock. So when we turn in our final approval, hopefully in July for consideration, then we'll have the physical samples for this.
Anybody else? You good? Lisa, you good? Okay, well, thank you.
Okay.
I think we're all good, and then once you come back with the final drawings and we can get Plat, then we'll be good then, okay?
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we will move on to item number 6, which is presentation and discussion regarding the proposed new restaurant development featuring liquor service, a future drive-through, open-air seating, and outdoor entertainment. And again, this is just for discussion only, correct? Okay.
So we have the presenters here, Mr. Chuck and Wolsu, Mr. Christian, property owner, and Mr. Ryan Gross of Adjourn, here to present to you their proposal at this location. If you recall, this is what used to be the A&A nursery. And I guess they can give you a full description of what they're proposing at this location. You have pictures there or renderings of what the planned proposal is for the site.
Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm Gabe Nunez. I'm here in behalf of Chuck. He's running a little late today, this evening. And we do have with Mr. Chris and Brian here. They recently purchased a lot off of it's not a College Street, but Eva, and we are looking to do the variance request to try to bypass or not necessarily pour concrete for all of the parking in this commercial lot. So they're wanting to open a restaurant with, of course, liquor service and open air seating to bring it to the town. What we would want to do and what we're seeking is the ability of, instead of doing concrete, simply doing a couple of inches of gravel to have parking spaces in this parking area, right? So that's part of the reason for the variance request, in an effort to try to keep costs at a minimum and be able to launch the business in a timely manner. Guess something that you want to add?
So I'm Ryan Rout, would be the owner of the restaurant. I currently own Crawfish Kai down in the district, in the historical district area. So basically, looking to expand that. It would basically shut down. They would move down to that property. It would not be called Crawfish Kai. The name would change. It would become more of a indoor-outdoor entertainment area, kind of like a little Woodrow's type thing, or something of that, sort. We want to repurpose the building for what it is right now. Basically, leave that main building, use it structurally, if possible. We will basically build the restaurant within inside that. We will have outdoor seating. We will have outdoor area for like live music, kids area for families, things like that, to be able to entertain, play, and hang out and do things within the city that doesn't currently exist. So it's an ideal property for it. It's a great location. It's got lots of space. And so right now we're just kind of throwing the idea out there, kind of get you used to it, get it on your minds, and see where we go from there. But so Chris owns the property, and we're kind of working together to try to expand and get that going.
So you're going to try to use the existing structure, keep the building there? And so there's, I know there'd be a drive-through variance, correct?
So that depends. That was a possibility, but it's not the completely set idea yet.
And then the parking lot variance.
So the drive-through.
One time, I know Hodgepodge Lodge put in a criminal, I don't know what you call it, but they use concrete.
It's the grids.
Yeah, the grids, they've used that, yeah. So, yeah, there is possibly a couple options to consider. I think even the putt-putt course, if I remember right, we gave them, I don't know how many years it is now, but we've given them quite a few years to pay theirs, but they gravelled it. So there's options there too.
Right.
And is there, the open air concert, is that something that's?
We'll probably have to look at a special use permit for the outdoor entertainment. Well, you have the restaurant. Typically, a restaurant is indoor.
Oh.
And now we're going into an outdoor activity.
Okay.
And most of the activities that are listed in the table of uses, when it mentions anything outdoors, it goes to conditional use permit.
Okay.
Or special use permit, sorry.
My question is, I know that this MISD has the building next to you, Does that coincide with any kind of liquor being that close?
I'm just asking, because it used to be an elementary school, now the administration's there, and that's what we're growing, and they stick some kids there. I'm just saying.
No, they're leaving that location.
Huh?
They're leaving that location.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, they're moving to the new CT center.
okay.
Yeah. Right now, it's not a school at all, it's just administrative. So they're, like Chris said, they're leaving anyway, so it would have no effect, yeah.
In the liquor, we've looked at all the stuff that's around it, and if they're serving liquor, there's nothing close enough, because there's a church, kind of cat corner. We've got the,
When we start looking at distances, typically people look at as the crow flies, but
Yes.
in our ordinance specifically, it goes from a measurement up to the door
Okay,
to, I think, even the next
okay.
door. where
Just it's a question we have to ask, because that's one of the first thing it says is a liquor service, I mean,
you're downtown, they're all serving wine and drinks, but you'll be on 105.
Yes.
I like the concept, I just don't know about noise either.
I was wondering about the noise.
The
You know,
noise,
because we,
as far as what?
well, we questioned the noise variance or allowance when there was another establishment that built downtown next to you, actually, where you are now.
Okay.
Because that little area.
Oh, because the little stage they built?
Yeah, and they also put AstroTurf down and asked them to just leave the grass. So that was, please be sure to come to us before you do that in the middle of the night.
We will.
Because that's what happened.
We'll do it at 11, not midnight.
But just wondered about if that's, because we asked the same questions with them.
So-
the music, and you just follow the ordinances,
Right.
sound.
So a little bit difference between where we would be and there is no residential around it at all. It's all business or empty, space. There is no residential, I guess. But I know we would still follow whatever ordinance. Whatever for you, I think it's 10 o'clock typically, anyway.
We have the noise ordinance for that, so we'll be able to.
I don't plan on having live music till 2 a.m. or anything past 10, to be honest with you. I'm ready to go home by then, so it's okay. But
And your lights are consisting of those hanging? Are you gonna have any because I see here in the back side where the music is, will there be other types of lighting? I guess the lighting.
Most likely, yes.
Would be good.
Yeah, there would most likely be some other sorts of lighting, yes.
But not standing up like HUD.
No, it's not gonna be regular parking lot lighting, anything overbearing, no. You wanna be able to set a mood rather than more of a parking lot.
So it would be the restaurant, and I see you have, trucks as well?
No, so it depends. We're still kind of in the planning stage. It will and part of it depends on the building. So whether to build an actual kitchen within the building or attached to, or if it becomes a mobile kitchen that serves it. Not other food trucks or anything like that. If anything, it would just be a mobile kitchen that serves the place entirely.
So just one restaurant?
Yes, correct.
So all the buildings are all go except for the main.
Everything's gone already.
Yes, that main building. And when will you know the building's gonna be okay?
That's probably you.
So we plan to have an inspection in the next week or 2 weeks.
Okay, and you'll
It's
just
gonna
bring
be
that to
both.
the city?
We are. It's going to be both the structural building inspection and the concrete, the slab inspection.
and you're part of that, right? Mrs. Blaine?
No?
No, it would be submitted as a part of their building permit package.
So it'll be just an engineer with a stamp with a sealed letter.
And all the water and sewage hookups and all that.
There's no water sewer currently there, so we had to bring service to the property. She never hooked up to city water or sanitary.
Okay, but there's ample through there, correct?
I think for their purposes, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gone through the civil.
Okay, this is all.
Yeah, this is very,
Okay.
yes, beginning stages.
Getting ahead of myself, okay, all right. I think it's a good concept. I know the city needs something like this.
Have you considered asphalt versus concrete?
Yes.
There's, to do it right, there's not a lot of difference in the cost. The base has to be basically the same. So, it's an option, but it wouldn't change our cost very much in that way. So we like to be able to make the rock work, the gravel work for now.
Would make it a lot less runoff with the gravel or some type of system like that, which I know we're all concerned about is the drainage and runoff.
How far away from 105 are you going to be?
They're on 105.
It's off 105.
It's on.
But setback.
Setback.
Maybe about 50 feet. I think it's
Like
about
where
50
it is
feet.
now?
Are you talking about the building itself, or?
No.
Oh,
Like where parking and all that.
Oh.
Because right now, if you went to go to A&A and pick up some plants, you can park literally.
Right, on the easement.
105,
it would either be behind the fence or possibly behind the building
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay, I got you.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you do have play area, right?
Yeah, that's in the
So
back.
you're gonna have to have it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole property is fenced already, but anything that would be related for kids or anything would have a separate fenced area as well. So there would be no access to a parking lot.
Are you gonna try to do anything between the street and the fence or noise barrier or vegetation or anything like that, or you're just gonna leave it street? And the rock and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
The boundary fence on the property to 105, that's in Texas right away now. Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
That answers that question. Text up.
I like it.
I like that, yeah. I guess, so the closest homes, well, you have Clapper behind, and then in town, you have Hodgepodge behind.
It's the school play yard, and there's a daycare and a library that's directly behind it. We have heavy trash days on the backside.
Yeah. Now, that property, has it been sold? Or in the process of being sold? The administration building,
Not yet.
but in process.
Well, it's maybe.
But you're there first.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I was actually just on Hodge's property not long ago, maybe a few days ago, and it was amazing that just with the tree cover that they have, that you don't hear anything on 105.
No.
Like it's pretty deadening already, you know. So that, as far as what you're thinking about the houses beyond that, is I think covers that noise pretty well on its own already. But yeah.
We'll leave all the trees.
Oh, yeah. There's no, if any, the more the better. No, there's actually a good group of trees back there that Chris preserved and that we want to utilize for some entertainment, sitting area and stuff like that.
There's nothing in the front.
No.
Never has been.
No. Not to say that there couldn't be, but
In front of it, it's just, well, there's when they whack the trees out.
I mean, you definitely want people to see it as well.
That's right.
Yeah. It's a great, it is a great concept, certainly needed.
Are you thinking of the black and
Reddish, is that the bow you're going for, or
No.
are you sold on it?
Black and red? No.
Whatever that color that you're using in these pictures, are you sold on it?
I'm not sure what picture.
So I think it's the first
Picture of the building.
laminate.
There's renderings,
Yeah.
and they're pretty dark.
Okay, so honestly, the building 10, the way it looks is something we're wanting to preserve a little bit. Kind of that, I want to say rusted look in a way, as long as it's safe. We want to preserve that kind of, is that the one? Is this the one you're looking at?
Yes, that's one of them,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, just there's been a couple, but yeah. So it's not gonna, that's a great looking building, but it's, not gonna be that at the time. It's more the building that is there, using its shell if possible. If we have to replace some of it, we will, but we want the kind of the older look to it right now, anyway. So that may change in years to come, but.
I don't know how I feel about a drive-through. It's so congested.
Let me explain the drive-through. The drive-through is not for food. So the drive-through area, and it's not even supposed to be like attached like that. It was mainly for live crawfish sales, and that would be like a separate area altogether. So if anything, it's just like a small area or building or something that you're dealing sacks out of, more than anything. And it doesn't even have to be a drive-through, it's they pull up, park, and you take it out to the car.
Yeah.
That was
If it's a pickup, so you
Yeah.
get out of the car, it'll be a second call. That's not a drive-through, so we don't need a variance on that. Okay.
Yeah. So there's something for you to put in your language.
Yes. I mean, originally, these ideas came partially from the old fire station when I was looking to go there, or whatever. So it had those drive-through bays, so it was thought, hey, you can just drive in, get what you want, get out, type thing. So that kind of just carried over, but it's not the same idea for here.
Okay.
It looks fine.
Yeah, sure does.
Looks like a bunch of people have talked to you and said what they wanted in downtown for kids and people.
Well, I mean, honestly, most of this have been my vision of something I wanted to bring for a long time. So I was working on different areas. They didn't work out, hopefully for a reason. This looks like a better spot. I mean, it's an amazing spot on 105. In covered space. In covered space. Trust me, I get 5 times what I do now.
Yeah.
Larger. Yeah.
It looks good.
It does look good.
Yeah. I'd say my only concern is gonna be light and noise and how that's handled.
But like I said, the lighting, it's, think about more of like a mood type setting lighting, more down lighting,
Yeah.
some little up lighting possibly, the string lighting stuff, enough to create light to where you can see what you're doing without any type of overbearing light.
And the gravel for parking, but again, there's other people that have it in the vicinity of what you're speaking of, so. I make a motion that we're just discussing.
Just discussion. Okay.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll move to item number 7. Presentation and discussion regarding the proposed new financial institution development with drive-through lanes. This is for discussion only again.
Yes, sir. However, number 7, we covered in a pre-development meeting earlier this afternoon. They're not here to make a presentation, but they will be, or plan to, come to the Planning and Zoning Commission next month to request that special use permit for their drive.
Okay, so that's number 7.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Then we'll move on to item number 8, which is a presentation and discussion regarding the proposed new multi-use commercial property. This is at 13801 Liberty Street, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And discussion only.
Yes, this is presentation and discussion. Mr. Trevor Dickerson, I think he's already purchased the property. Well, he's here to make that presentation. It is going to be a multi-use commercial property. If you all know this location, it's just north of the elementary school. It looks like a single-family dwelling. It's been used for commercial, and now we'd like to continue to use for commercial. Different type of uses that are permitted in that district, and also has some outdoor venue.
Howdy, y'all.
Hey.
So we are under contract, at least in the feasibility period under that property. First and foremost, I want to say that the mature oak trees will never see a chainsaw. They will stay and stay tall and proud. So we're going to look at potentially building this out in phases. Goal number one, we are salon owners. My wife is at Elizabeth Allen there, just behind Best Donuts in downtown. So we want to stay in that market to build our, financial base for the business. So we'd be looking at maintaining the property at its original form to maintain the downtown feel, Old Montgomery. We'd look at taking the back half of the structure and interiorly renovating for individual salon suites, cosmetic suites, anything of that nature. After that, we would still have plenty of square footage in the front of the building that we will leave empty for now to potentially down the road, depending on where the demand is at, either add more cosmetic suites or provide retail space for 1 to 2 retailers, small boutique style. And then from there, have a couple mobile food vendors, coffee vendors, mobile only outside. Under the mature oak trees, have outdoor seating, yard games, potentially a kids' play area. And then down the road in the grass area up front, close to bordering 149, we would love to do, seasonal retail with farmers market style, right? Local vendors, artisans, bakers, producers. And our whole mission is just to create a place for a family-friendly, it's a dawn till dusk open, no alcohol, family-friendly place for people to come and gather, a community gathering place to interact with small businesses and vendors in the community. We really just wanted to present today to get y'all's input on it. Like I said, we're in feasibility this month, so we just want to make sure that what we're looking at doing and budgeting is in line with what y'all would want to see in that area. We also will be asking for a variance as well on gravel parking with the aesthetic and the feel we want to stay as old as possible. We like old stuff. We don't love the idea of just pouring a bunch of concrete for parking. Again, also drainage, we want to keep all that the same, but really for us, it's the aesthetics of the place. We don't want it to look like a shopping center or anything like that. We want it to feel like an old farmhouse that people can come hang out at, let the kids run around and play. It's not open too late, stuff like that. So if y'all have any input, I'm also here to learn, and I would like to know if there's anything y'all would like to see in the next month from us, and so are there any questions?
As always, we ask about the parking. If you do a farmer's market, which they're very popular, would they just drive further back?
Yeah, our goal right now in the presentation that Ms. Tilly handed out to y'all, the rendering of the property lines is a little askew. I did what I could within a week. This happened kind of quick for us, so I apologize. I don't know, did you send me the email, the original one? The hand-drawn one? That shows better the property lines. Currently, there is a storage shed and then a lean-to pole barn. For sure, the storage shed, more than likely, we would just go ahead and take out potentially. It's already gravel for the most part, minus about 50 feet to the back of the property line, plus where that storage shed and lean-to are. That would be our parking area, and we would just like to continue to use the gravel that's already present in here. So that would be the majority of the parking.
So you're going to pull in, not from 149, you're going to pull in from that road that they pulled into to the school?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be the main entrance, so you'll do away with the one driveway that's, I don't think.
It already is, so it's been divided since, so the current renderings or anything on images will show you a U-shape coming in from 149 over to the shared access easement for MISD and the property. The property line cuts that other driveway out.
Okay.
So as of right now, it would be the single driveway shared with MISD.
And so you'll do all the fire department, water, and okay.
Oh, what are your hours?
That's
Your
what I'm
proposed-
as far as the community aspect. Now, our tenants for the cosmetic suites would have access probably from 6 to 10, I think. 6:30 to 10, so they can,
In the morning?
yeah, 6:30 in the morning to 10 in the afternoon and evening. So they can work their schedule and work their clients.
10 p.m.?
But they will have individual gate access, so the gates will be open for public use. We don't really intend on selling anything to the public. We want to create a place for the public to come, and then we will sell to local vendors the opportunity to interact with us, the community in that way. That being said, I mean, we envision a place where, in the fall, we would have a pumpkin patch out there or something like that. That way we would probably retain and sell to the public in that way, but very minimal.
So are we talking 7 days, 6 days a week?
So we would think 6 days a week. We want to be closed on Sunday.
So the farmer's market, is that a special use? If they have a farmer's market on the weekend, is that a special use? Same as food trucks?
It's an outdoor type of use. The food trucks, there's a state law, a new state law that was passed and it's been effective on July 1st. I'll be able to explain that to you later. There's a technical aspect of it where you can no longer call them a mobile food truck. You can regulate them under the zoning code as an outdoor use, but not as a mobile food truck. So I'll make sure that that new Texas statute comes over here to you all so that you can read what the requirements are. The state of Texas is taking over all food vendors.
So does that make it more difficult or easier?
Not that it made it more, you mean like regulation wise?
Yeah.
We can regulate it because of the outdoor use.
Okay.
We could possibly regulate it because of the environmental health issue, as in cleaning out the vehicle, the grease traps, that kind of thing.
And
But
how long they can
the
sit?
outdoor use and zoning, we would be able to say something about the outdoor use itself, but not mobile food vendor.
Kind of like we did down there in the Cozy Grape parking lot when we had the ice cream and the hot dog place, right?
Now, that's different. That's different. Again, we're getting away from the term mobile food vendor, now it's outdoor use.
Okay.
And is the farmer's market kind of like our first Saturdays? How they have to, okay, so it's
But
like our
they're-
first Saturdays.
Yes, and they rent our community building.
Yeah.
Would you have any restroom facilities?
Yes, we would have a restroom inside the building that would be available for public use. Right now, it looks like we can at least have 2 restrooms for public use, and then we'll also have a restroom for tenant use, a private restroom for tenant use as well.
Not a big fan of concept, being presented, so. We're getting some new ideas in town, which is great.
I like your keeping the trees.
That's why I led with it. Well, we love the old oak trees out there, we're the beautiful. Yeah, we don't plan, right now, and don't really foresee any need to, expand the current structure. We want to keep it as it is.
Because they redid the house, right?
Yeah,
They remodeled it.
Interior, yeah, a couple of additions, but we want to keep it where it is right now. And the original house was built in, I think, 44.
Yeah.
To the chagrin of my wife, I love old stuff. I like keeping it old.
Nice windows.
Yeah.
And no liquor, so
No.
no conflicts in the school next month. I like that.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody got? Okay, thank you.
If I could ask your input on what's your thoughts maybe in the future, or what you might need from me for the variance on parking and gravel versus concrete.
Yeah, whatever.
We'll work on that.
Yeah.
Is there anything I've prevented that I should probably look into while I'm in feasibility that y'all can see, or are we in line with what y'all want to see there?
I think feasibility, well, I think the only thing, the main thing is your parking lot or not structure, but
What it's made out of,
we're gonna have you.
and make sure you have disability or
Because that will
handicap
have to be a
parking.
variance
Yeah.
if we do some gravel versus all that, so just maybe come up with some different ideas on that. That's,
They'll come up with a site.
yeah, yeah, that's really about it. 'Cause
Yeah,
everything
we like
else is-
everything else, yeah.
Everything else is pretty much in ordinances and stuff.
Okay, perfect.
So,
When I originally saw it, I was concerned if your parking, designated parking field, you'd have people trying to park on 105, but it looks like it.
Yeah, we should be okay. I mean, it's going to be a pretty, I say slow burn, probably over a year. I mean, we'd love to be open by January. And like I said, phase one for us is the salon, and to provide a good financial footing for us to start providing for the community in that way, provide the space for that. So we're hoping to have that, open by January, and then over that year, expand and grow and add a place for the community as well.
okay,
Appreciate it, y'all.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, move to item number 9. Discussion on also discussion on the crossing at Montgomery development.
Good evening, Commission. So in front of y'all today is an item for discussion only, kind of an update on the crossing of Montgomery development. So just to kind of paint the picture, I know some of y'all weren't on the commission at that time, and realistically this happened over 2 years ago, so just bring y'all back up to speed as to what's going on. So back in the summer of 2024, so 2 years ago at this point, we presented a feasibility study to Council and Planning and Zoning Commission on the proposed crossing of Montgomery subdivision. This is the subdivision that would just be across the street and railroad tracks from Briarly, formerly known as Redbird Meadows. If you go to page 124 of your packet, you'll see kind of the area in question. Page 64 of your packet also has that outline as a proposed subdivision. And what this consisted of was 235 lots, varying from 65 lot width to 75 lot width. Within that, we outlined all of the requirements as far as public utilities were concerned. For water, it would be pretty straightforward. On either side of the development, there is water access, so they would just be tying into that, creating an internal loop with their water system for the development. As far as sanitary is concerned, we outlined in the feasibility study that their best and most viable option would be providing an on-site lift station and then extending force main off-site along Old Dobbin Plantersville to a discharge manhole along 105. And that's outlined in the feasibility study and the development agreement that is included with this packet. And once we presented development or feasibility, to Planning and Zoning and Council, we went through with the development agreement process. Within that development agreement, we just outlined all their requirements as far as variances, required off-site utility extensions, and the required funding and timing of those, as well as any other variances within the development. And so outlined in that executed development agreement has all of those informations. After execution of the development agreement, the development went on pause by the developer. for a couple of different reasons, but now it has come back to the conversation table. And just, again, because of the time lapse between execution of the development agreement and where we are kind of with, facilities within the city, market rates as far as kind of real estate goes. Wanted to get this back in front of y'all as far as conversation pieces, again, to bring y'all up to speed on everything that's going on. As a part of this discussion, we are working with staff, the developer, and city's attorney on amending the development agreement to further outline roles and responsibilities of the off-site utilities. So typically, there is two means of how developments within the city receive service. It's either the city does the design and construction of the off-site utilities, or it's done by the developer and their representative. In the development agreement, it was outlined that the city engineer would complete the design and construction of the off-site utilities, i.e. the required sanitary sewer service, on-site lift station, and off-site force main and gravity sewer upsizing along 105. Developer would prefer that their engineer handle that work. And that's not untypical. Briley did the same thing. They constructed their lift station, we did the off-site utilities, so there is precedence within the city for that. Along with that amendment to kind of outline those roles and responsibilities, there is also a request on additional information on the PID. That is one unique aspect about this development. PID within the city, it's not the first PID within the city. There is another. The Montgomery Summit Business Park is a commercial PID, and so this would just be the first residential PID within the city. For those that don't know what a PID is, Public Improvement District, it is a financing and reimbursement mechanism for developments. So very similar to a MUD in ways of reimbursing for infrastructure, but the difference, the key difference between a MUD and a PID is that MUDs levy taxes and PIDs are assessed based on evaluation of the property within that district. And so those are the kind of two distinct differences between PIDs. I won't go into further detail, otherwise I'll misspeak and give y'all a wrong impression on something. There are specific questions about kind of differences of that we are kind of going through with the developer as well as a third-party attorney to kind of go on and discuss kind of those differences between what PIDs are, what other kind of reimbursement entities within governmental bodies such as cities are, and what they are able to produce. Again, within this packet, you'll see kind of what we discussed previously as far as the development agreement, and then an update from the developer as a separate attachment as far as their process and where they currently are within the city, or in terms of the development process, excuse me. Again, just to kind of summarize, there are 235 homes ranging from 480,000 to 520,000. Some of their comp developments are Waverly Place and New Waverly, and development in Conroe. Canyon Creek, exactly, thank you. So for kind of a similar vibe as far as those developments are concerned. And that is all I have. If you have specific questions on that. Yes, ma'am.
Of course I do. We agreed on 65 by 120 and 65 by 130. Mm-hmm. We agreed that we wanted it deeper and not wider.
Correct.
Okay, and they did say 7.5 feet setbacks on the side.
Yes, ma'am.
So is that 7.5, or?
Correct. So it's from building pad to property lines, minimum 7.5 feet. Okay. Building line to property line, minimum 7.5 feet. So a total from each adjacent building pad would be 15 feet.
Okay.
At a minimum.
Okay.
And just to clarify, at this time, they're not seeking any additional variances. If they were, those would have to come, depending upon the scope, would have to come back to P&Z and council for approval.
In the landscape reserve, I just happened to
walk that railroad track for the past 27 years with kids, and I know Mr. Stowe and the old trees that are up against that fence where he cuts his hay, and I drove it again today. So there was a discussion back in 2024
of maintaining that.
And I wrote it down because it was something important, like I said, to rearrange the land plan and shift roads so that
here's the railroad tracks, then there's some gravel where all that stuff is, and then the fence line and the trees. So are they going to put a road and more trees? Are they going to just leave those trees? Because I see 20 foot. I see that there's a 20-foot variant along property boundary
Correct.
adjacent. So is that in addition to the 25 setback, not setback, but
Where it is, land and trees and all
As I understand it, and the developer's engineer is here to answer specific questions, but their current layout has it buffer, pads, street. So there won't be any streets between the landscape buffer and the house.
So the landscape buffer is going to be 20 feet.
Minimum, yes,
that,
ma'am.
minimal, and they're keeping the trees.
Yes, in that specific area.
So a house is gonna be up against the trees, not a street,
No, correct.
correct, house?
Yes, ma'am. So it'll go railroad, trees, house, then road.
And they will, are they gonna plant more vegetation? Are they gonna, if say the trees are only 10 foot out?
So not to speak for the developer, but I would imagine since it's heavily wooded, they would try to maintain as many
Yeah,
trees
some
as
of it's
possible.
sparse though,
Right.
like up front where you cut the hay. Yeah, it's a little deeper down towards his house.
Right, but in terms of interior to development, I would imagine that they would try to maintain as many trees as possible.
Yes.
Yes. You know I'm gonna ask.
So, so we did the land plan, as Zach was letting you know, to have 20-foot in a reserve that is according to the development agreement. We don't have a tree survey, so I can't tell you exactly what trees may or may not be placed, but we are maintaining a 20-foot buffer from the railroad right of way to the back of the lot for the purpose of a visual tree buffer, so where there can be some type of separation.
20 foot from
The railroad right of way.
the railroad right away,
To the
okay.
property line. So if
Okay.
those are 120-foot lots, it'd be 120 foot or 140 foot from the railroad right of way to the front of that lot, basically. So you have a lot, 20-foot buffer, then the railroad right of way and the railroad.
What happens if you get a nice old tree that's in that 120?
That you're gonna build a house on, does it come down?
It's coming down. Yes, ma'am.
And city council said yes to this.
To be clear, they would still have to come back for final plating, preliminary plating, plan approval in front of P&Z and council. So y'all would have an opportunity to see what they're proposing for each section.
And also too, there was something about the green space was considered around the ponds.
So there was 6.8 acres that have to be going to, 3 detention ponds, 8.5 foot acres with walking trails and park setting that are going to be in ponds. So there was development agreement, 3 ponds and 8.5 acres, I think, dedicated to like trails, parks, things like that. So the preliminary plat. Now we're only doing this one section. Now that the escrow agreement is kind of formalized, the process is made in the city, we can start submitting things to the city for review. So our
How many ponds did you say?
3 total.
3, and within those 3 ponds is, say here's a pond, that pond is also including the green space that you're telling us that is going to be allowed in the subdivision.
So the pond itself would be in a drainage reserve.
Right.
And then, so the pond, berm footprint would be a lot smaller than that. The reserve would be larger. I do think it does say that it has to have some type of trails or amenity. Right now, they are designed to be dry ponds, so they're not wet ponds.
Okay.
That answers your question.
I just want to make sure that we're getting enough green space that people touch their feet on, opposed to green space and it's 3 ponds that are dry, and then whatever the remainder is what they're going to call the walking trails.
So the walking trails would be along the 20-foot berm of the pond.
Okay.
And the city requires a 20-foot maintenance berm around the pond, so that would essentially be where the walking trail would go along that pond.
I have a question, and I don't know if this is anything, but on the development, the proposed thoroughfare plan,
Yes.
that black hashed line, what is that?
So as a part of this development, and kind of backing up a little bit, while we're going through feasibility with this Morning Cloud development, we're also going through feasibility with the TRACT development, which is the Legacy Grove just north of 105. As a part of both of those developments, we did propose that thoroughfare be connected from Lone Star Parkway and ultimately out 105 and then through 105, connecting to 149. As a part of their development, they were or are required to dedicate right of way for that portion of thoroughfare that will be going through their property.
There's good land planned around that as well, so the land plan that we do have, I think even the one that the feasibility study did show where that, so we with the new land plan that we've done, we kind of kept the same configuration.
No, it was in question. It was in question. It wasn't like, this is the first time I've, quote unquote, seen it like this.
If you go to page 84 of your packet, you'll see kind of their overall land plan. I believe this is the most.
So is the thoroughfare on the streets, or is it up above?
It would be a portion of the street interior to their development.
Because there was a question of it going through Huffman.
So it wouldn't, as I understand, not go through Huffman today. It would go.
Yeah, we would give it so because Track Point brings it to 105 and we bring it, and there's a track in between. So the goal would be when that ever gets developed, that it's going to make the connection. So there could be a connection from the north loop through here, across 105, through this subdivision, and back on 149.
And that track is the man property, if you're familiar with it.
Right. But you're not going to try to come down Huffman.
No, it would be a separate street altogether. Because Huffman is a private street.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we wouldn't be able
A bad private.
to. We would not be able to do that.
Busy.
Correct.
And I would like to note that one of the first things that y'all will probably see next is going to be preliminary plat. The preliminary plat is just going to be for one section of the subdivision. So I know we're talking about 3 ponds. That's 3 ponds for the whole phase. So the phase 1 will have 2 of the 3 ponds built.
Yes.
Third pond will be in the second phase. So just letting y'all know when y'all do see those things, like you won't see that thoroughfare because that'll be in the second phase. You probably won't see the third pond or that reserve. So just know that the first phase will be the first.
So I also read back in January
2024 that one of the city council members addressed how many entrances there would be. And someone said that it would be, if there was only one entrance, it would have to be a gated community or not be a gated community, or it's not a gated community.
No.
Correct?
No.
So there's one entrance and it's coming from?
2 entrances, one off the old dock and one off the old Plat.
2 inches ultimately, first phase would be the first one. Yeah, on the west side of Donovan.
And who said yes to these additional homes coming down? Because you've got Briarly, and now you're gonna have this subdivision coming down Old Plantersville Road. I don't know if any of y'all have been down Old Plantersville Road.
Well, what y'all gonna do, fill in the ditches and put sidewalks?
Separate from this development, there is a 3-party agreement with Briarly, the county, and the city that have cost outlined for improving Old Dock and Old Plantersville from 105 to 105. So effectively, where the high school is.
Of the study of the traffic on Old Plantersville Road.
We do have to submit a traffic study, which again, we have that. So we have a plat, drainage study, traffic study, and all submitted as that.
We can't even walk on our street.
As a separate,
Old
again,
Plantersville Road, you can't take your stroller, you can't go bike riding, and we used to be able to. And now with the painters in their vans and the cement guys with the little spinners to flatten out the cement with their trailers, it's knocking the limbs from the trees down on that road. And the curve, there's 2 strong curves, and there's 2 cars can't get at the same time.
so
And the speed limit's 20.
it will be crowded in the very near future with all of the active development going on. We definitely can't acknowledge that concern, but there are parameters in place between us, the city, the county, and all adjacent developers on making sure access and maintenance of that street, city-owned or city-maintained street, is maintained and adhered to.
Are we gonna have a public hearing for the people that live within this vicinity of this new development? That that will be circling their homes now and also using Old Plantersville Road?
All of the agreements as far as improvements to Old Plantersville have gone in front of City Council, in front of the Commissioners Court as well, been reviewed by City's Attorney, County Attorney.
No public hearing of the people that it affects.
There has been, again, council items regarding that agreement, and so if there's a request in the future by residents or the city, we can have that public hearing, workshop, whatever the case.
So where on Old Plantersville Road is the one of the exits going to be your entrance?
On this one, it's gonna be the right next to the railroad track.
Yeah.
It's just north of the track.
And the land after that property that's purchased, it's the railroad tracks. And then I seen a for sale sign for the little strip of land that's on the other side of the railroad tracks. Right before you get, it used to be Pill Station.
Yes, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's where you're talking about coming out.
So
Past the blue house, you're not going down Huffman, you're gonna come up from Huffman and go on that far side.
Yeah, so it's at the intersection of Old Auburn, Plantersville, and the railroad track, just northeast, right about 150 feet.
Yeah. That'll be the phase 1 entrance.
That's not nice.
For the people that live on that street.
That's just, good luck.
There's just nowhere else to
I know.
access off the road. It's there's a pretty narrow strip of where that connects to it.
Yeah, I know, and when you come out on Auburn Huston, that's behind the school where all the kids.
And that's where all the improvements are going.
Yeah.
So that's where all the county improvements are going, is to improve that from that intersection all the way to 105 will all be improved. Is it widened or just overlaid? I don't know the
And
exact.
that portion is overlaid, and the Old Plantersville portion is widening.
Old Plantersville is widening.
Pavement, yes, ma'am.
Pavement and overlay on the
Old
back
dog.
side of the one behind the school.
Yes, ma'am.
Just, what's called
And again, understanding your concern about all the traffic in that area, aside from the Crossing in Montgomery TIA reviewed and issued TIA on the Briarly development, which required them to improve Old Plantersville as well. Again, a connection to Spring Branch Road, again with the county, all parties with the district of Briarly, the county, the city attorney, county attorney. There's a lot of coordination going on with
It's funny how
improvements.
many of them probably live on that street. Raise your hand if you live on that street. That's why I can say what I can say. And it's not nice. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Kids go there for school, and that train coming through two different spots. Anyways, I'm just going over some stuff, so.
Because at one point, there's a hard curve, and the Trailer House Park has a stop sign, Huffman Street has a stop sign, and Old Plantersville Road has a stop sign. There's 3 stop signs and a curve, and then you go through another S curve, and you come to the edge of that railroad track where you're trying to come out.
And that's gonna be your first entrance, and you gotta decide if you're gonna take a left or a right, and either way, it's gonna be insanity.
Definitely understand your concern.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that I wasn't here. I hope, I'm gonna research and see if I said yes to this.
When will you be making the second entrance coming out on Old Auburn?
I don't know the timing, but it'll be in the second phase. I just don't know what the timing of that looks like. She's got, I don't want to speak for developers, I don't know exactly what her timeline looks like for the next one. But certainly the next phase would have to have that second.
I highlighted some other stuff too. Several of the councilmen wanted to leave it at 70 foot, but they decided on 65, I guess. Okay, I I just have the notes from January 2024, and I was like, I couldn't wait for tonight. I must have been asleep in 2024. Please make a note, like when this is brought before council, to really, really take a drive down Old Plantersville Road.
Yes,
Especially about 3:30,
it is.
6:30 in the morning.
It is busy for sure. For sure.
Actually, they should just walk down it, or take a bike ride with your kids. Yeah.
And again, kind of the point of this item is discussion, so bringing up points like this in terms of concern definitely can be brought to our attention and make certain caveats or recommendations in the development agreement as well. So
Thank you.
if there are other questions or comments, that's what this opportunity is for, kind of.
That's a beautiful piece of property. Like it's got slopes and.
Man, when he cuts those hay fields, they were like, we would just stop and look, it's beautiful. Absolutely not, but I am ready to go to the next item.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
We're done with all. I'm not good.
Yeah. Let's go to, I ran it as much as I could.
Okay, we're going to move on to item number 10, consideration and possible action regarding the proposed 12 or 15 addition front facade, 16 single-family dwelling located at 901 Eva Street in the Historical Preservation District.
Good evening, Commissioners. Yes, this is a 12 by 15 addition at 901 College Street, and we'll be reviewing this because the addition is in the front part of the house, located in the Historic Preservation District. The property owner is here, Mrs. Jordan Riddell. Our contractor's here. I guess he'll talk about this.
I'll jump in if I need to.
Good evening, Councilmember. It's a real simple project. We wanted, and I don't know exactly which drawing you have because I had sent several to Ms. Tilly. But all they want to do is move the front of the house. There's like an addition that sticks out already. Just move it another 15 feet further out. They're sorry, Miss Miriam, one of the trees will have to come out.
I know. Yeah. I thought you were going to take 2 out, but I was told just 1.
Just one. And Jordan has said that it probably needs to come out anyway because it keeps dropping leaves or branches on top of the house. So it's almost a safety concern at this point in time.
It leans over our master.
It doesn't lean out, it leans back over the house. So the drawing you had shows 2 windows, kind of on the right side. We've opted to go take the 3 windows that are in the front and just replace them further in the front so that they look the same.
So that front facade will be the same?
It'll all be the same. It's just going to extend 15 feet further out.
So there'll be 3 windows instead of the 2 that's
That's right, that's right.
Okay, good.
And if you look at so when you come to the end of the 15 feet, it's 19 feet 6 off of the setback line, property line on the right-hand side. And then it's 45 feet off the setback line from the street. You guys don't have the drawing. We worked on it today, so. All the finishes will be the same color, same shingle, same everything.
So do we have the new drawing for records with the 3 ones versus the 2 that's in a package?
I can give you this if you want. I have a drawing.
The next step in their process, when you approve this, they'll come in for a building permit application. We would just make sure that their building permit application reflects what you approved.
So in the historical district, preservation district, there is a minimum or a limit from the street.
And mentally, what did you say it was on this one? Like if they had that 15 foot, like what is it, like how far out can
The
they be?
setback? If the property line at the front, and if
We're
he's saying
45
that they're
feet.
45 feet from
The 15 feet addition will be 45 feet from proper setback line on that property.
Is that within guidelines?
And then it's 19 and a half feet off the property line.
The side. I think we're at 25 feet.
That's what you said.
Right?
Yes, that's what you told me.
And the reason they're asking this facility is because of what is the main concern? Why are they asking if they can do this, just because it's in downtown? And
Because it's in the historic preservation.
I'm just like,
Yes.
it's nothing unusual, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They just want more space. As opposed to move to the house, they want to make this more livable.
And because the changes are occurring on the exterior of the building, and it's in the historic preservation district, that's why it's probably.
And you said it's 2 windows, not 3 windows?
There'll be 3 windows on 2 windows. Yeah.
I'm just getting to it. There was 124 pages of the other one.
Yeah, there's 3 windows there now, and we're just gonna let it be 3 windows.
And that door, what's the door for? There's a door in this drawing. That wasn't there before. Is it an entrance to the house?
That is, there's like a mudroom, laundry room, and that's an entrance into that.
And we'll match that to kind of the front door too. It'll be the same wood finishes.
The idea is to keep everything the same.
Just add space.
Just add space. Just add space.
Plan on replacing the tree? Just asking for a friend.
Do what?
I'm asking for a friend. You're gonna replace the tree.
Replacing the tree? I plant one further up front.
We got a cedar tree right out there, but it got struck by lightning, so it's halfway hanging on right now. It's still alive, but half of it.
I know the ones in Cedar Creek Park hang on for life.
That's, yeah, we've had a few with the storms come down, but we have quite a bit of trees on our property.
Yes. I keep flipping the picture. It keeps stopping. There it is.
So I just wanted to add, there's a list of optional conditions if you want to look through that. If you have any questions about any of those items, you don't have to have any of them at all, but you have your questions.
And so to level it, it looks like you're gonna pour some quite a bit of concrete.
Yes.
Okay.
It slopes down quite a bit in front of the house. It'll be a stem wall and then just a concrete slab on top of that.
What page are the considerations on?
It would be on the agenda report.
So there's 7 items we got here.
That's what
So if all 7 of these are met, there's no reason to come back to us, correct?
Correct, this would be
Yeah.
the action that we would need in order to issue the building permit. And of course, the building official still has to review the plans, the detailed plans.
Are we supposed to see the
sideboard and the roof top top right now, typically we, see it, this one doesn't have it. Okay.
Not at this time, we have, the photographs. So,
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I mean, we're
It's just gonna be the same, I mean, everything's the same.
not gonna change any color. We're not change shingles.
So will there be additional exterior lighting, mechanical equipment, or utility improvements?
No, ma'am.
They're supposed to be screened or located in a manner compatible with the historic preservation and city review. Tilly, who's gonna go by there, or whatever, is the building inspector gonna go by to make sure the materials match? Because we don't have an example in front of us.
we'll be able to see it.
Okay. All right, as long as it's not purple.
Same.
Oh, no, I like the white.
As long as
We don't like purple.
Yeah, I'm a neutral person.
No, the reason I say that is we were presented with a color, and when it got painted, it just, something changed the color of it. I held the patch up to the building and I went, this isn't what we colored.
Oh, yeah, no, it'll be white.
No, we'll color match it with Sherwin-Williams, we'll just take a piece of it and go match exactly the same. Trim same, everything same.
All right. I make a motion to accept a proposed 12-foot by 15-foot addition to the front facade and of an existing single-family dwelling located at 901 College Street in the Historic Preservation District, to follow along the guidelines of what's on there now, the color that's on there now, and the roofing material, and the downspouts and drainage.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for the approval of the proposed 12 or 15 addition to the front facade at 901 College Street, providing that all exterior colors and elements stay within the same as the existing home.
Yes, sir.
All of us say aye.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a motion.
Yes, I motioned it, she seconded
Okay,
it.
we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Consideration of possible action regarding request for a special use permit for a financial institution with 2 drive-through lanes at the southeast corner of Eva Street and FM 2854. On tract 2B, acres 1.188.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is for the Wells Fargo location that will be at the corner where the HQ is located. So it's the north
West.
northwest corner of 2854 and 105. And again, it's the Wells Fargo. They're going to have the drive-through lanes, similar to the other banks that you have looked at with the drive-through lanes. And it appears to meet the requirements for safety, pedestrian safety. They are using their access points from the HEB property, which, of course, I'm sure they have their shared access agreements. And I have a representative here from Wells Fargo that's able to answer any of your questions.
So this sits behind the wall.
Yes,
It's
on top
not
of
the corner. Yeah, it's
not
on,
at the bottom of the wall.
yeah, it's up
It'll
on, in the parking lot of basically HEB.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a small 1.188.
Well, the banks these days aren't as big as they used to, so clearly they're getting smaller, but I wanted to point something out in case it's helpful.
This layout actually has just one lane, and this isn't a typical drive-through setup like we probably are accustomed to with 3 lanes and somebody looking through the window to help you. It's literally just for the use of an ATM. Self-service drive-up ATM. The lane itself has stacking for 5 cars. The site itself can obviously take more than that. We typically design to 3 cars, so when people come to an ATM, they see 3 or 4 cars in a line like that. Nobody wants to sit there, so they'll generally just drive to the front door where we have a walk-up ATM, or walk inside and get service that way. So I guess we've tried to think through all the things, but it's not a Dairy Queen drive-up, not a 3-lane setup with tellers looking through a window to help you. So just a convenience for our customers.
So it is going to be 2?
1.
Yes.
Okay. There are 2 ATMs, but one is drive-up, one is park and walk-out. And of course, there's one inside as well.
So how are you going to get in there? From 2854 and 105?
Yes. Okay. No, not 105 because of the wall. Yeah, so it's 2854, then the rest of HEB's development we're tied into.
What is y'all's lights situation?
Light situation? So we are regulated by the state because of the ATMs on the site, right? For safety. So they regulate us out to 60 feet in any direction from an ATM. We have to have so many foot candles within 5 feet, 10 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet. At the furthest out, 2 foot candles is the minimum, which is what most shopping centers are designed to as far as lighting goes. So that way there's adequate lighting and people feel safe, and if something does happen, it's hopefully they're visible.
So these are the knockdowns, like the
just typical
HEBs.
Typical pole lights, yes, sir.
Everything's shined out.
Yes, sir. That's correct. And of course, like the lighting on our building casts some of that. But we're designing out to 60 feet, but if it's beyond our property, we're not. It just has to be to the edge of our property or 60 feet.
Is it going to be a stone outside, or is it just going to be typical brown and red? Or?
No, so we have a brand new exterior design that's being rolled out. The first location is going to be Jordan Ranch and Katy. Second one's going to be in San Antonio. This will be the third.
Can I find it online? What it was like?
I can share it on my phone. It's mostly a stucco facade with some like fake wood looking stuff. I'll check that. Not as old school as we however thought to be, but sort of natural finishes. It's not like in your face. Going for more of a warm look than old, baked, cold, sterile.
So no drive-through lanes whatsoever for regular banking?
No.
Everything will be inside?
Right.
ATM?
Yeah, and the big push for that, as we all know, is just because everyone's doing things on their phone. So, the traffic that there once was, needing to talk to a teller or deposit a check, it's just not there. People can do it online. So the ATMs are also smarter. You can deposit checks into ATMs.
So you are not asking for a special use permit for a financial institution with 2 drive-throughs?
No, for one.
So we're gonna change that, okay?
And hopefully we didn't provide something that was incorrect, but.
No,
It looked like 2.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, there's.
When I said 2, I was like, no.
Well, we're gonna plant trees all around it.
That's it. As long as you do that, you're good.
No,
Keep the lights down.
There's sort of a bypass lane next to it. It's not connected. It's outside the same curves, but it's just a regular flow around the building.
Yeah.
Not an actual lane.
So which side of the building is it on?
It's gonna be away from 2854. Like here's 2854, here's their bank. So they're gonna drive through right here. They're gonna come in here and loop around.
Yeah, we're completely relying on HEB's access because of the wall.
Any more questions?
I make a motion, regarding a request to pass the request for a special use permit for a financial institution with 1 drive-through lane at the southeast corner of Eva Street and FM 2854, corner John Tract 2B, acres 1.188.
Motion.
Second.
Second, so all in favor of the action for a request of a special use permit approval for 1 drive-through lane at the southeast corner of Eva Street and FM 2854, corner John Tract 2B, acres 1.188. All in favor, say aye.
With the exception, I have a question. How long is the special use permit for?
You can set an expiration on it.
Or what do you
You
normally
could,
just roll with the bank?
well, yes.
Okay.
I mean, unless you think that Wells Fargo will go away and a new bank will take over, if you feel that a change of ownership of the bank, or if you think that a different use can go into that bank.
Probably was make it as long as the ownership.
Wells Fargo.
We Wells Fargo.
We're actually ground leasing the site, so we have a 30-year lease.
Okay.
We usually don't leave once we, especially today.
Well, we have to ask because, and I read that and I went, oh, I need to ask that question, apologize.
No, I understand.
So we need to put in there through the ownership period of Wells Fargo.
Yes.
Kind of like what you've been saying on the other
Yes.
one, where as long as the use doesn't change.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I agree with that.
No. Okay. The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time.
Number 13, consideration of possible action on variance requests outlined in section 70, 162 of the City of Montgomery Ordinance, Church of Montgomery, development 25.
Skip 12.
Right there.
Skip 12.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry. Let me digress. We're on number 12. Consideration of possible action regarding request for special use permit for the existing indoor children's play business, including a proposed expansion of approximately 900 square feet into a contiguous vacant suite at 15363 Sun Park Drive, Suite 204.
All right, well, again, this is the location at 15363 Summit Park Drive, Suite 204. This property is located in the industrial zoning district. The applicant, Caroline Plagans, is here with her husband. They are the owners and operators of the Charlotte Spot LLC, doing business as the Village Play Cafe at that location. So they are currently operating at that location and would find it advantageous to them to add 900 square feet to their operation. It would really help their operation, at least grow in how they can provide services, expanded services, play areas for children. Now, you all know the industrial zoning district and what the table of uses are in the industrial zoning district. This kind of use is not typically approved in the industrial zoning district, but again, with the opportunity in a special use permit, and they have already been operating there for a while, the addition would be covered under this new special use permit, or at least the special use permit that we can attach to its existing location. Again, they're here if you have any questions. It's definitely a use that would be helpful with the employees that possibly work in that industrial district. Maybe even with the gym that's located there, people can take their kids there for a couple hours to play in the play area. I don't know if you've ever been inside of it, but it's pretty cool what's inside of there. They can go to like a little construction area and pretend that they're little contractors, and kitchen cooking area. It's just that with this expansion, they'll be able to maybe serve some food with the people that are there, and maybe expand on their ability to have birthday parties and that kind of thing for the kiddos. But the business owners are here if you have any specific questions for them.
So basically, this is just so you can expand your business.
Yes. So that they can
Serves the community.
Correct.
There.
Correct. It just didn't go to
The additional 900 feet that, or the next building over that you're trying to acquire, is that a possibility for sure, or?
Oh, we've been paying rent on it since we bought the business in February.
So is there already a setup for food and hot water and bathrooms?
So we're working with the city
Okay.
and the county to get all that over.
Okay. You know there's a coffee shop already going, right?
Yes.
And I see you want to serve espresso.
Yeah, just to our clients.
If I don't have a child, I'm going to go for espresso.
I guess if you want.
I see espresso, I was like, oh.
Kids in another room and coffee, all right.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is just add more play space, and then a small little kitchen, and then a party room.
So is it a daycare, or is it come and drop off, or?
No, it's, you stay with your kid.
Oh, it's a.
Yeah, it's a little, like, little town. Little setup. Yeah.
Oh, a play date place. Oh.
I have a question. So the original existing operation, they never got the variance with the special use permit.
So
What we're doing is applying it to what's already in existence as well as what's planned.
Yes.
The new owners are asking for forgiveness of the previous owners.
And a little bit about this, like, we were only coming to buy their stuff. We live in Tomball, we were gonna open up in Tomball, and then my wife and I were like, man, Montgomery's growing, but we have the opportunity to buy it, let's just go and make them an offer. And since then, we've had so much feedback, oh my God, thank God you kept this open.
How did it open without any special use permits? Because I thought there was a gym over there.
There is a gym.
And I've been over there to that gym, I've never seen children. That's why I said, coffee and children, yeah, great. They were quiet about it. I mean.
Well, that's why we bought it, because it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
And honestly, without the expansion, it's not going to be sustainable either.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming to us and getting a special use permit, doing the right thing so that you follow along with what's going on in Montgomery. I do say thank you to that. What is your expected date of expansion?
So as soon as we get the approval, we've already paid for construction, so we can start. All we are waiting on is the contractor to get approval for the electrical plan.
Well, construction too, the whole building permit packet. So the building official still needs to do plan review on the plans.
So how are they operating now without a special use? Is it legal for them to be operating? Like, I just want to make them safe, and if we're holding them up by saying this, I mean, let's just be clear.
Right. They have a certificate of occupancy
Okay,
that allows them to be in that location.
okay.
Business park was built in an industrial park, that's the problem. It was never started properly in the first, I mean, who to blame, you can't now, but yeah,
But I appreciate it. Like, most people just roll with it, and then we're bulldozed most times, and they're asking for forgiveness instead of permission. But,
Well, when you're dealing with kids, you want to make sure everything's legal, because we don't want to be sued or something.
Yeah, I think that's great, I think that's great.
And if it helps too, that contiguous space right next to them still hasn't been built out. And, the building has been there for a while. So by them expanding them into that space, it helps with.
so it's the 2 doors? I'm looking at the building.
There's 4 doors?
I just see like an out thing.
Because we're not going to have access to those 2 doors, the wall.
Right, but there's a total of 4 doors in the whole building.
3 doors.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 doors. There's the back, the emergency exit in the back.
No, there's 4 doors.
Plenty
There's 4?
plenty of parking, disabled parking.
All in that, because it's the industrial district. One entrance.
And it's all inside.
Yes.
You're just going into another space.
Yes.
And they have to follow all those rules. Like when they go to put the cook stuff in there and all that, you'll have to, well, you're already doing it. What are your hours? It's blank on our sheet.
We're open 7 days a week. We're open from Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, and then Saturday, 8 to noon, Sunday, 10 to 3. And then we're offer birthday parties outside of those hours.
Anything past 10 o'clock?
No, never.
Hopefully not. It should be a
Gotta ask it. What else is there? For the length of your special use permit, we're gonna put in there as long as ownership belonging to, yeah.
What's the name of your?
Charlotte Spot's the LLC, and it's the Village Play Cafe.
So we're going to
allow the special use permit as long as it's Charlotte Spot LLC.
doing business as the Village Play Cafe.
Okay. Ownership.
I make a motion to approve a special use permit for an existing indoor children's play business, including a proposed expansion of approximately 900 square feet into a contiguous vacant suite at 15363 Summit Park Drive, Suite 204. The special use permit is to be good as long as the owners of Charlotte Spot LLC, doing business as the Village Play Cafe, own this site. And it is Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays 8 to 12, Sundays 10 to 3, and birthday parties.
Okay. Got a motion and a second to request approval of City Council for the special use permit for an existing indoor children's play business, including the proposed expansion, probably approximately 900 square feet into a continuous vacant suite at 15363 Summit Park Drive, Suite 204. Along with the recommendations stated by Miriam. And you have all those? Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion passes.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're on to 13. Consideration possible action on variance request outlined in section 78-162 of the city code of ordinance for the Church of Montgomery.
Good evening again, Commission. So I'd like to point y'all's attention to page 126 of y'all's packet. This will outline kind of the site plan of what's being proposed. Paint a picture. Church of Montgomery, Woodlands Methodist Church that will be going on Klepper and C.B. Stewart is requesting a variance request for the required visual barrier abutting adjacent residential property. And so, as shown on this exhibit, what they're proposing on their site plan, there is between the estates of Buffalo Crossing, I believe, is the neighborhood. There is a 30-foot drainage easement and utility easement. Outside of that, there is a vegetative setback and barrier. Because of the placement of the drainage easement, they're not allowed to place trees within that. And so they're asking for a variance to extend the visual barrier from essentially where their parking is all the way up to the building, north side of the building. And so you'll see what they're proposing, essentially from the adjacent residents. If you're looking out of their backyards, you'll see their 6-foot-tall fence. Above that, you'll see a combination of trees. At full maturity, they'll be 15 feet high. Shrubbery, at maturity, they'll be 6 feet high, blocking the development. And by ordinance, this is what is required. So they're just asking that the variance only be required for the portion of the actual active development. And so they will be coming back in the future with the future phase, future build out of the building going north. At that time, we would ask that they extend that visual barrier north to again continue that visual barrier from the residential properties to the west.
So basically what they're doing, they're extending the 25-foot vegetation buffer 200 feet.
Yes.
That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah, they're planting all the required trees and shrubbery, maintaining that visual barrier. They're meeting all the minimum canopy requirements for the development. They're not removing any trees. They are planting the same amount, and that's well above their minimum requirement.
And they're doing this because keeping the vegetation alive within their irrigation.
Correct. And so because of the elevation differences, if they didn't plant trees where they're proposing them, the residents would still be able to see the development as a whole. And so moving them in setting them out, configuring them so that it's maintaining that visual barrier for parking with the shrubs and then for the building with the 15-foot tall trees.
They'll come back to us when they do their second section.
Correct. They would have to come back for a variance.
For the next section.
Yes, sir. This is just the section, yeah. I make a motion to pass the variance request outlined in section 78-162 of the City Code of Ordinance for the Church of Montgomery, development number 2501.
A second.
And a motion and second for the special variance request outlined in section 78-162 City Code for Church of Montgomery. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion passes. Item number 14, consideration and possible action by the Planning and Zoning Commission on the final plat for Lone Star Hills, Section 1, development number 2404.
Good evening again. So in front of y'all today is the final plat for the Lone Star Hills development. As a reminder, this is the development that is going along Lone Star Parkway, just adjacent to the Buffalo Crossing development where Peel Point is. This plat is for Section 1 of the development. As a total of 90 proposed homes. The plat development would be subject to impact fees totaling the amount of $430,920. That would be due at the time of, before, the time of recordation with the county. Development is currently under construction. As I understand, all of the water, sanitary sewer and drainage is complete. They're continuing with the paving. So the requirement for Plats is that they have to submit a financial guarantee for all of the public infrastructure related to that development. The developer will be providing a reduced bond or financial guarantee for the remaining work. But we have no concern that they're not going to be finishing because they're actively constructing as of today, and will be continuing here in the near future. And so right now, this is a recommendation for P&Z to take this to council and then ultimately record the plat with the county.
On page 131, what's the H stand for?
130.
West Ray Colorado? See that little, see the H in the, if you're looking at the sheet, it's to your right. I'm on page 131. What's that H?
Reserve. It says the reserve H.
It didn't say reserve. I was like, okay, what's H mean?
So yeah, on the last page of the plat, you'll see all the reserves.
Oh, there it is,
outlined.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And their requirements as far as,
What type of retaining wall they building, brick? Is brick?
They're segmented block.
Okay.
All right.
And they're all built. I mean, you're more welcome to start with.
Just wondering if it's kind of all, you know, because like HEB is doing it, and then we've got some other people just seeing if the stone is all kind of come together in the city.
It's the same contractor. It's just a different color.
Yep.
Thank you.
Just
With that master plan, I'm wondering if we're finally coming together with some kind of consistency. Yeah.
There's not very many wall builders in town, so they may have different tones of the block. I feel like most of them are like the same.
This has already been looked at by city council, and they're just waiting for us for any recommendations.
they've seen the plans and the preliminary plat as of y'all as well. So next step would be at the 2nd June council meeting, they would take action on this final plat.
Saying yes to it?
Yes, ma'am.
Continue to build, and they're already building. I make a motion that we approve the final plat for the Lone Star, or excuse me,
I make a motion for the action to go to city council for the final plat for Lone Star Hills Section 1, development number 2404.
Second.
Okay, a motion and second to pass the final plat on to the city council for Lone Star Hills Section 1, development number 2404. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes.
Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
Anything, commission inquiry? Any items we need to put on future agendas right now? Good. Motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion and a second for adjournment of June 2nd meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion passes. We're adjourned at 7:51.
Hey, I know, just wait till I quit, then you won't have anybody asking any questions.
And no, we can fight for the trees. We fought for the trees.
Didn't read everything. Some hoping you guys were okay with it.
Yeah, I read it, and I read them today.
Zach, I have to plant a tree before 4th of July.
Yes. How big is it? How big is it?
Oh, sorry.
We'll be able to see it.